Hi, I'm Professor Suzanne Brock, also known as Doc Brock, and in this module we are going to be discussing branding and mission statements for corporations. The American Marketing Association defines a brand as a name, term, sign, symbol, or design, or a combination of them intended to identify the goods and services of one seller or a group in order to differentiate them from the competition. Now, the key word here is differentiate from the competition, differentiate. And what this means with strong branding is that it goes beyond, say, high quality, low cost, specific colors, and other features that are more of a surface type. It actually means a strong brand actually touches the consumer intrinsically and emotionally, and I will get into that in just a little bit. So some examples of strong brands that are known and recognized worldwide. These would include Coca-Cola, which has the iconic scripted logo as well as the signature shaped bottle. We also have McDonald's and its golden arches, again, which are recognized, easily recognized worldwide. And if you want a technological example, both Google and Apple would fall in this category of strongly branded companies and products. So if you have a strong brand, your brand is going to have the following characteristics. It's going to deliver a very clear message to the customer and confirm the company's credibility. It's going to actually connect with the company, with the customer on a very emotional and intrinsic level, which is going to motivate the buyer and also increase customer loyalty. So overall, a brand is a promise to the customer. Now, this promise, let's go back and look at Coke. Coke is not promising a delicious carbonated beverage. The promise of Coke, and I quote, is to inspire moments of optimism and uplift. So the company is tapping into the emotions of optimism and uplifting. If you are familiar with any of the taste tests that have been done between Coke and Pepsi, regardless of which soft drink is deemed better in the blind taste test, just know that Coke actually outsells Pepsi worldwide. And one of the reasons for this is because it is so strongly branded. Apple's brand, believe it or not, is actually about simplicity. I know that's very high tech, but they do try to keep the products very simple, along with fostering an environment of creativity, innovation, passion, a community of support for this, and the empowerment of people through technology. So the company isn't selling computers or there's neat little watches that are coming out. They are actually selling the emotions that I just mentioned with you, and the passions and the innovation and tapping into these intrinsic values. So think about also with another example we looked at was McDonald's. What exactly is McDonald's when they say, "I'm loving it"? They are selling that emotion. They aren't selling hamburgers. They're not selling French fries. They're actually selling that emotion that is attached to the actual product that they are selling. So let's take a look at just a couple other very strong brands. One is the NFL, and their brand is, and I quote, "to be the premier sports and entertainment brand that brings people together, connecting them socially and emotionally like no other." Well, there you go. You've got your emotional connectivity specifically stated there. Another good brand, a strong brand, is Virgin, and they strive to be genuine, fun, contemporary, and different in everything we do at a reasonable price. So again, their brand is not the airplane. It's not about going into space. It's not material goods. It's the actual emotions that are attached to the specific products or services that they would provide. The brand is actually driven by the mission statement of the company. And a mission statement is a sentence, maybe two or three, that provides strategic direction for the organization. This is where the organization is going, and every piece of the organization is focused on staying in aligned with this. a mission statement should be broad enough that it leaves the opportunity open to explore different business ventures in the future that maybe management just can't foresee. But it needs to be narrow enough that it doesn't open the opportunity to go anywhere that, any opportunity is a qualified opportunity. It needs to bring the focus in to make sure that the organization is doing what it does best, and making the best use of its resources. So, for example, Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So they're making information universally accessible and useful. You'll notice that in that mission statement, there's no mention of search engine. If there were, then we wouldn't have Google Docs, which is an application that allows file sharing across the internet, because that would not fall under the guise of search engine. But because the mission statement looks at accessible information, Google Docs is an acceptable product and is a well-founded position, a well-founded product for which to pursue. You want to think of a mission statement as a compass. If you are on a ship out in the middle of the ocean and there's no land, there's nothing but water, your compass is going to keep you going in the right direction. And this is really what a mission statement does. So let's take a look at, first of all, some mission statements that actually need a little bit of help. The first one is from Avery Dennis, and their mission is to help make every brand more inspiring and the world more intelligent. Well, that's a very, very lofty goal, and I think that most people would appreciate the gesture of making the world more intelligent. But realistically, is this realistic? And the answer is no. Now, if the company wanted to help a specific population and focus on a specific population to help them become more intelligent, then this would be a better mission statement, because it is bringing it in, it's more narrow, and it can help focus the company. But when you also consider now that Avery Dennison sells mailing labels, having them make the world more intelligent while they're selling mailing labels, it really does leave a bit of a disconnect, and I hope that you can see that. So maybe a little bit of help with defining and narrowing that down would help the company. Another mission statement that, again, needs a little bit of help is from Barnes & Noble, whose mission is to operate the best specialty retail business in America regardless of the products that we sell. Well, again, we've got a very broad category here where they're selling books, but then this also opens them up to potentially selling airplanes and kitchen sinks and computers. So a bit too broad, and need to bring that down in order to have that be a more effective mission statement. That being said, let's look at a couple mission statements that I feel are very, very well written. The first one is from IKEA, and this states that our vision is to create better everyday life for the many people, and that's the specific wording there, the many people. Our business idea supports this vision by offering a wide range of well-designed functional home furnishings at prices so low that as many people as possible will be able to afford them. So, interestingly, if you think about this, they want as many people as possible to purchase their home furnishings. So if the economy goes crazy and we all make a lot more money, then they're going to adjust their model in order to provide for us all. Conversely, if the economy goes down and we're making less money, they will adjust the business models. So again, that as many people as possible can afford their products. We also have a good mission statement from Warby Parker, which says that the company was founded with a rebellious spirit and a lofty objective to offer designer eyewear at a revolutionary price while leading the way for socially conscious businesses. And I think that this one really appeals to the millennials with being that socially conscious business. So let's say, for example, that the company has a supplier and the supplier changes their policies, and they're doing business that is environmentally unsound, or maybe there's some child labor laws that are now being broken. According to the mission statement of the company, Warby Parker would need to come up with a new business partner for this particular area. So as we conclude, just like to go over just one more example about branding and the differentiation and how companies need to focus specifically on a targeted market and stay true to this. If you look at the car industry, we have BMWs that are the ultimate driving machine. We have Volvos that are known for their safety. They're some of the safest cars in the world. And we also have Mercedes, which are known as a luxury vehicle. Now, while BMW is the ultimate driving machine. I mean, it's exciting to drive. It's fun and it's sporty and so forth. It's also safe. I'm very confident in the safety of BMWs, but this is not the quality that the company, that the brand is pushing. They're pushing the fact that this is the ultimate driving machine, and they stay true to this. Conversely, Volvos are known as some of the safest cars that are created. Now, personally, I've owned a Volvo, and I think the Volvos are a lot of fun to drive. But that's not the point that they're pushing. They're really pushing the fact that they are safe. So again, while all three of these cars are cars, they have wheels, they have an engine, they get you from point A to point B a lot faster than walking, they have specific characteristics that are indicative of the brand. So the mission statement, drives the brand. The brand is what helps to differentiate organizations and products from one another, with a strong brand, a true strong brand, being one that connects with the customer on an intrinsic and emotional level. And this is going to conclude our module on mission statements and branding. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know or contact your professor. Thanks so much.